Hello everyone and welcome to Flosstube number 32. Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. My name is Lizzie and this is a video all about cross stitch. I have a lot to show you today. A few new starts, one big finish that I did not expect to be a finish, and it is a fully finished that I've been working on for a while, and lots of haul. I've bought a lot of kits. I have some really exciting antique store finds as well. Let me just say a $3 Duchess hoop. I may have squealed in the store. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I have is a fully finished item, which like I said, I didn't expect to be fully finished. So this is a stitching finish and a fully finished since the last video. And this is Gilmore Girls by Stitcharea, and she is framed. My paper back, as you can see, like I normally do. And here she is. So I'll give you a close-up in just a second. So this is Gilmore Girls by Stitcharea on Etsy. You do have to message them if you want the pattern. I started this one in April of 2024, and then I finished it the very beginning of August. I don't have the date right off the top of my head, but the very beginning of August. I stitched this on 32 count lambswool using all the called for flosses, which is a very limited color palette. I want to say it was 7 or 8 flosses. The yellow, I did need more than one skein of, and I definitely used 2 skeins of the 310 as well. There she is, and she is beautiful. So I am gonna get a piece of glass for this. This frame did not have glass. This was actually from Hobby Lobby, and it had a piece of art in it, like obviously not, you know, hand painted art or anything. But it was from Hobby Lobby, and my son, I bought it for this to take out and put my cross stitch in, and my son loved the art so much. He said, will you put that in my room? So I'm reframing that. I'm gonna put it in a little bit of a smaller frame, and this is the frame from that. But it's so pretty. I love it. I have no complaints. I love this pattern. This was a really nice big stitch because it had a lot of fill-in stitching, and yeah, I'm just obsessed with it. It is sitting currently on top of this bookshelf you'll see behind me, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. There she is, and I cannot wait to just look at her every single day. I do have another Gilmore Girls pattern that I want to start, which is from the Black Needle Society, and I really want to order the Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses to go with that. But they are a little expensive. It's like $100 just for the floss. So that might be a birthday present that I buy myself. If I can hold off, because Gilmore Girls season is coming soon, and now I don't have a Gilmore Girls with to work on. I wish there was some way to set that right there, but here, I'm gonna put it there and you can see the top of it a little bit. It won't fit on the shelf, it's too small. So the next thing I have is a new start. I have 3 new starts, I think. I told you in my last video that I'm planning on starting a bunch of Halloween smalls, and I started this one. This is the Mysterious Halloween Town by Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And here is my start. I'm gonna show it to you far away and I'll give you a close-up. I'm stitching this on 28 count marbled hazelnut by HG Designs, and that is my small start, very small. I think I worked on this half the night. Was all, and I am using the call for a DMC. So the chart does call for a couple fancy flosses, and I'm not using those. I'm using the DMC conversion that they provide in the chart, and that is, let me show you right here so you can see that, and that is right there. It's really easy stitching. It is going to be a little bit larger since I'm stitching it on a 28 count. And I think that's kind of why I stopped, because I was like, do I want to do it over 1? But that sounds like a terrible pain to do over 1 on 28 count. So I am stitching it 2 over 2 on the 28 count. And this is a beautiful piece of linen. It's washing this out a little bit more than it actually is in person, but it is a really pretty piece of linen. And I would love to spend a solid few days working on that before my next video. And let me show you how I stitch with my Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery charts. So all the charts I have from them are, unless they were from a magazine, are paper charts. So this side has the color key, and I keep it in this bag. I'll just take the flosses out. This side has the pattern, and I'll stitch with the pattern like in the bag, which is really nice because then I'm not like rifling through papers. I can just kind of like turn the bag around, which makes it really easy. And their patterns are the best paper patterns I think I've ever used. They come, so this pattern in particular, I'm going to show it to you real quick. So you get 1 page of the whole chart in color, and then you get the page split, so the right side and the left side in color, which is what I'm using to stitch from. Then you get the whole page in black and white, and then you have it split into 2 charts in black and white as well. So you're getting the charts in multiple different ways, in color and in black and white. Those are some wonderful charts. I will 100% order from them again once I go through the stash of what I ordered a while ago, but they're such nice charts. I just wanted to mention that as well. Next is also a new start. This is a small that I'm going to hopefully turn into a Halloween ornament. This is again from the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but this is actually from a magazine. So this is Penny's Potions by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. This is from the October 2019 Just Cross Stitch magazine. I am changing a few of the colors. So I haven't put any of the color changes in yet, except around the border and in that little curtain right there. I changed, it was 154 DMC and I changed it to 29. And I am going to change the house to a DMC satin as well. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited about it. You can see the white stars right there. They're kind of ghosting, but they're going to be surrounded by that purple satin color. And then there's the little witch who's on her little scooter. And then that's the eyes of the frog. I'm kind of trying to get color completion on this one since it's such a small project. And this is on a 32 count. I have no idea what it is. It's really just a creamy off-white, like creamy grayish white. I'm sorry, I do not know the color of that fabric. It was like a little, this is how big it was. It was just a little scrap in my stash. I don't have the information on that, unfortunately. I will have all the information for anything I mention and details about any of these patterns below. I feel like I always forget to mention that in the videos, but I do always put that down below just in case you can't understand me. You know, I've had a lot of people comment, you are so Southern, you have such a Southern accent. Yes, I do. So if you can't understand me or I talk too fast, that will be down below. All right. Next is this one, which is also a new start, which I was working on last night. I just started it last night, so we're going to ignore the needle because I am going to come back to that. Hopefully finish it tonight. But this is Halloween Friend by World on a String by Dara, D-A-R-A. Again, this is from a magazine, and I will put what magazine below because I forgot to write it down. I'm stitching this on 32 count shale, 1/2. Definitely feels like a 36 count, maybe even a little bit smaller than a 36 count, honestly, but definitely a 36 feel, which is Picture This Plus. So in case you don't know, their fabrics do tend to shrink during the dyeing process. So this fabric definitely did. And it's so cute. I can't wait to finish it. Like I said, I think I'll definitely be able to finish that tonight. Such a sweet little small, but I would love to get the 2 of those finished before my next video and maybe start another 2. Yeah, we shall see because I kind of have squirreled a little bit this week. The next one is a whip. This is Spooky Countdown by the Primitive Hair. And here is a picture of what it looked like last time. This is my 1 strand a day project for August. So I am currently caught up on this. I didn't necessarily, let me show it to you first. I didn't necessarily pull it out every single day, but I was like, okay, in the next 2 weeks, I did that for the first 5 days where I pulled it out and I put 1 strand and then I'd work on my next project, but I don't love doing that. This is my first project where I've done a strand a day and I love the concept of it, but I did feel like I wasn't wanting to switch whips. I was like, okay, I have to put this whole thing up and then I have to figure out what I want to pull out. And just like mentally, I didn't want to do that. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you. Yes, I need to fix the box on a couple of these. But I mentally didn't want to do that. So what I did is I was like, okay, I'm going to catch this up and do 2 weeks worth of 1 strand. So I'm going to put 14 strands in and then I'll put it down and then I'll put another 14 strands in. So I'm getting my strands in. What if it would not be 14? Whatever the number is, that would only be 28. Anyway, I did 15 this time. And then I'll probably the next couple days, once I finish those smalls, I'll come back in and do what I need to finish it out for August to get the amount of threads I need to. If that makes any sense. I feel like I just rambled on there. I finished this since last time. I finished the moon box. I started this one, and then I outlined these 3, and you can see I have a little start right there. So my goal for this year is to finish all the boxes, because then we have the top, which you can see I've started here, and then we have the bottom. And that's kind of my goal for next year. If I can get all the boxes done this year, then I'll be happy. And I think I'm gonna try to do that just with the 1 strand a day stitching in August. And I didn't mention this, but I am stitching this on 32 count lambswool. I did coffee tea dye it to give it some modeling, which the camera never fully picks up. You can see it kind of right there. But yeah, this one is really exciting. I would love to have it finished by next Halloween season, so I can get it finished and on my wall or something somewhere. I had somebody comment and suggest that I should finish it on a washboard a long time ago. I started this, March of 2024. And I'm still on the hunt for a washboard. I need to kind of figure out the full length of it first. But I haven't found one that's the right size yet. Like, if I guesstimated it. But I do kind of want to get the length first just to see. So maybe I actually will try to get at least enough on the top and bottom to know what the full length is this year. Okay, the next project is the one I put in the most work on, and was definitely the one where I fell off what I had planned to do. This is Dimensions, A Treasured Time. I'm using all the kitted materials, floss and fabric, although I did soften the fabric. And here's a picture of what it looked like last time. I started this in January of this year. It was not my new year, new start, but I did start it in January. And here is what it looks like now. So here is the full size of it. That is not the full length. It's almost there, but it's not quite full length. Here is where I focus. So we have the top, and I really focused on the bottom. Yeah, that looks good. That's probably the best way to show it. So what did I do? I did this little puppy right here, and I will say I'm not doing any back stitching until it's completely finished is my plan, because I kind of want to see the before and after for the back stitching. So the trees were done. I did a little bit in the house, a little bit of fill-in of stitches in the house, like a couple stitches I missed. And I worked most of the stairs down. I filled in a lot here. So you can see that's bushes with snow on top. This right here, there's like a couple spots where that brown is. Those are going to be rocks, which are not fully complete yet, but those are going to be rocks. Down here where they're started, those are going to be little bunnies. And about right here, where you can see actually exactly where that line is, that is the halfway point, which is my goal for this year, is to get to the halfway point. So that's my goal, is to get halfway this year. To do that, I did write down some statistics about that. Let's see. So currently I've put in, and this is me estimating by counting the little blocks of like 10 by 10 blocks. So currently I have put in 12,500 stitches on this, and I need to put in another 7,500 to get it to the halfway mark, which I think is totally doable. I think if I pull it out every month until the end of the year, I can definitely do that. Because let's see, I have September, October, November, December. Yeah, if I do about 2,000 stitches every month, then I could definitely do that, which is around what I am doing every time I pick it up. So I feel like that's totally doable. I just need to consistently pick it up every month. So I'm going to plan to do that. So yeah, that one was kind of a random one, but you'll see why I wanted to work on the Dimensions kit so bad, and I didn't want to start a new one in my haul. So I'm going to start with my antique store haul. The first thing I found, like I hinted at earlier, was this Duchess hoop. It is a small hoop. It's a little oval. I've actually been using it on the Halloween smalls I showed you, and sometimes they don't fit lengthwise, like that little pumpkin didn't, but I could put it in this way, and it was really nice. And I do like it. Oh my gosh, I found a big one. It's holding my fabric really well. There is a little bit, you can see there, of mess up on the felt. You can see the seam of where they put it on, but besides that one spot, it's really nice. There's no issues. The wood is pretty soft. Like I'm not feeling any like splintering or nicks or anything like from age or anything in the wood. But I found this for $3 and I did squeal in the antique store. I went, and somebody looked at me, and then yeah, it was fine. I was excited. They did have a few other ones, but they weren't Duchess, and I didn't feel like I needed any more really, but I've never had a Duchess hoop, and I was really excited to find that. So that was $3. Then I found a Dimensions kit. Now this Dimensions kit is still in print. This is Believe in Santa. It's a Dimensions, hold on. I've already opened it, so I'm gonna go ahead and open it for me so you don't have a glare. But it is a Dimensions Gold Petite. Like I said, it's Believe in Santa. I believe it has an 18 count. Yes, 18 count ivory Ada. Everything was there. I could open it in the store. And it has 2 floss cards. So we have those. And then we have fabric. I definitely will soften this. And then it comes with the needle, and I was impressed it still had the needle. It has the needle and it has all the directions. And actually when I was checking out at the antique store, I had both of these, you know, at the same time. And I had a few other things too. And the lady ringing me up, she was like, do you cross stitch? And I was like, yeah, I actually do. And she was like, oh, I so wish I could do that. And I was like, it's not as hard as you think. Anyway, we're talking about it. And then the cashier beside her goes, oh, I cross stitch. I love cross stitch. Anyway, it was just really exciting. I've never knowingly met another stitcher out in the wild before, so I was really excited. I was really excited about that. All right, then the most exciting piece of haul, because I have acquired my unicorn pattern. Now I have another unicorn pattern, so I did celebrate this for a little while though first, and I'm still super excited about this. I bought this on eBay, and I am going to give you prices of everything. So I bought this for $7. I don't know if I said that, but I bought that for $7. Some people give prices, some people don't. I find that when other people give prices, I find it helpful for me. Let's say I want that item, and kind of knowing a realm and a roundabout of what somebody paid is really helpful to me. So that's why I do include that. But this is the Better Home and Gardens Cross Stitch Christmas, and this is from Christmas 1992. It still has the original price on it, which was $3.95, and I wanted it for this pattern. Now this is a Dimensions kit. You can get a Dimensions Gold Petite, and it's just like an oval of this. It doesn't include the whole thing. And I've been on the hunt for one. I can't find one cheaper than like $80, $85, and I really didn't want to spend that. I probably would have eventually wrote down and spent that, but I didn't really want to. And then I was like, let me do an image search and see if I can find it anywhere. So what I did is I screenshotted the gold collection. There was a listing for it on eBay. I screenshotted that. I went to the Google app and put it in. And a magazine came up with this pattern. And I was like, it's in a magazine. No way. Found this magazine, and, you know, bear in mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to eventually, if I really want this chart, I have to spend at least $80 to $100 on it. Got this magazine for $16, and I actually haven't even looked through it yet to see what else is in there. I mean, I'm sure there's some other good charts. It still has like the little leaflets of advertisements and things. But yeah, this is going to be a new start in December. I'm very excited about it. I have wanted this kit since, I don't know, since I first started stitching. I was like, oh, I can never do that. I can never stitch it. And then since I started the other Dimensions kit, I was like, okay, I'm capable of doing it, but I don't want to spend the money on it. And then I found this. So I'm very excited about this. It's in perfect condition. I did message the eBay seller before I bought it just to kind of make sure the pattern was intact and everything like that. And it totally is. And they messaged me back before I bought it. But yeah, a unicorn chart acquired. I'm very excited about that. I will post my next unicorn Dimensions kit. I'll post a picture of it here. Really want that. I'm on the hunt for that now. This one is a little bit harder to find, and when you do find it, I found it once looking for it, and it's close to it was close to $200. But anyway, maybe I'll come to a happy accident and realize it's in a magazine. I doubt it, but we shall see. It doesn't hurt to look. Try it, because you might find the chart you really want and it's in a magazine. All right, next thing I bought is another kit. This is a Busilla, I think that's how you say that, Busilla Christmas. And I again got this off eBay. So this was an auction, and I'd been following or watching the item. I don't want to take it out because it's still sealed, but I've been watching the item, and nobody had bidded on it. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna put in the minimum bid and see if I win it. And I did, and I got this for $8, and it has everything in it. Comes with, it's gonna be 12 by 12. Comes with a 14 count ivory Ada. It does have floss that is not separated, so I have to separate it. It even has the needle in there, which it's sealed, so of course it would, I guess. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I don't know exactly when I'm gonna stitch it, but I'm excited to have it in my collection. All right, then another Dimensions kit I bought. I really want, I think it's Ballerina Dreams from Dimensions. Again, I'll put a picture of it here. I really want that one. I haven't bit the bullet to buy it yet. Again, another one that's like $100 and some, but I really, really want it. And this is Dimensions Counter Cross Stitch 3 Ballerinas. So as a child, I did dance. I danced for a very long time. And it was kind of like I had to make the choice when I was a senior to pursue it professionally or not. And I chose not to, but it will always have a very special place in my heart. And so I bought this one off Mercari. And so I bought this one, and it was $16. I am going to finish it as a pillow. I saw K_is_for Kira_, which is a Russian Instagrammer, post a pillow finish of this, and I'm obsessed. Look at those beautiful colors. Again, you have to separate the flosses. But I thought this was a little bit more of a simple one than Ballerina Dreams. And a little bit, I wanted to stitch both of them, but this one's a little bit more simpler of chart and less of a money commitment. As well. But yeah, I just think it's really pretty, and I saw that pillow and I was like, okay, I have to have it. But I do want to do the Ballerina Dreams one too, because it just like, I don't know, it feels like with my stitching, I feel like a lot of my stitching is for fun, and I just really like the pattern, but there's also a lot of it where I'm like, oh, I'm attached to this because it reminds me of this point in my life, or it reminds me of this about myself, or this about my family, or whatever it may be. So I really want the Ballerina Dreams for that reason, which I will eventually get. All right, then also somebody needs to delete eBay off my phone, because if not, I'm going to continue purchasing lots of kits. All right, next I got this little fall board, which is from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a little small one. There is the item number right there in case you're interested. It is currently either 40 or 50% off. I can't remember. But I just thought this was super cute. I know people have shown these before, but I thought it's super cute to finish a cross stitch on, which I will eventually do. All right, so that is all the stitching. I'm going to go into a little bit of personal life update. First life update is this bookshelf. So I actually got this last week on Facebook Marketplace, and I sanded it and I painted it this really pretty purple color, which I love. And this is going to be my cross stitch bookshelf. You can see this middle shelf is empty except for this tin right here. But up here I have kits, not like fully kitted, but just kits. So I've got 4 or 5, and then I need to put these up there. This is my Halloween projects that are fully kitted that I want to pull from. I have all my floss over here, all my DMC floss. That's bobbinated. The unbobbinated stuff goes in the closet. This is empty shelf. Down here you can't really see, but I have all my cross stitch magazines, a bunch of cross stitch country crafts, some Better Homes and Gardens ones. And then over here, I have my cross stitch books, this little antique sampler, and then a few books to like finish cross stitch on. So that's what I have right now. And then on the top, I'll insert a picture of what I have for now. I have my Gilmore Girls stitch on it. I have all my adhesive, my glues, and the little tin that holds those. A picture my son made for me, and a cute little basket with that little tea towel that I love so much and have in the back of a lot of my videos. That was kind of my weekend project, and I am in love with it. It makes me really want to go in and finish the craft room. I did order command strips actually to hang a bunch of my cross stitch finishes on the wall, and hang cork boards in my son's playroom, and hang pictures in my son's room. Just because I have a pile of things. I actually have 3 piles of things with what room they go in and need to be hung up in. So I ordered those today actually, and I'm going to work on that. I'm getting excited to decorate for fall. I am making my own Halloween tree, which I will show you when it's done, but it's going to be a little tabletop tree. So that is a craft that is in progress. And my pumpkins, guys, we have actual pumpkins. They're no longer just flowering. We do have some that are flowering still. There's still a lot of flowers. But we have, I think, 5 or 6 pumpkins. And I'll post a couple pictures of them here because I'm so excited about them. I was out there looking at them the other day, as I inspect them almost every day. And I was like, there's a pumpkin. I called my son over and was like, come look at the pumpkins. And so we were very excited. So we had a little squeal and a happy dance in the middle of the pumpkin patch. We're calling our backyard pumpkin patch, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, comment down below if you've made it to this point, what you are excited about for fall. Or are you one of those people that's holding on to summer or really excited for fall? I'm a really excited for fall person. I prefer fall. Fall is my favorite season until the times change and it gets dark early, and then I don't like it. But until then, fall is my favorite season, and it's almost Gilmore Girls season, which means September 20th or 21st, whatever the first day of fall is, it's time to rewatch Gilmore Girls again. Who else is a Gilmore Girls rewatcher? Because I definitely am. I don't know how many times I've watched it, and that doesn't matter. All right, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in 2 weeks with some small fall finishes and maybe some eBay purchases, because I can't stay off eBay, unfortunately, for my bank account, but fortunately for my stash. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and get some stitchy time in soon. Bye, guys.